Hello, I'm Rengru.
And I'm Graham.
We're here today with another 1v1 from the Wargame Bootcamp Discord Elite Tournament. We're on a hell in a very small place. Who do we have playing today, Mr. Graham?
So on the left-hand side here, in the blue, we have SeoHyun playing as the Dutch German Corps Mechanized. And then on the right, we have the famous Blitzwar once again playing with the OP Entente Mechanized.
Indeed, indeed. So, mech gang on the mech gang action. Perfect map for it. And both pretty damn good mechanized divisions. Of course, Entente with Rel being Entente. But also, Dutch-German is nasty. And right off the bat, we're seeing HK just really book it right down the canal.
Yeah, he's going up really heavy right there in the canal push, and that's pretty standard for at least one player on the map. They kind of like to go for that, and we see the Leopard 2s pushing up with the reserve infantry to screen. He's got some shock troops behind it there. Flak Panzer took out a recon chopper for Blitzwar off the start there when the Hera's going down. And a nice little push here so far from HK. Oh,
yeah.
Another chopper going down.
Yeah, having like 2 laboratory runs right at the start is a heavy investment, but in a mechanized battle like this, those things are going to be very nasty to take down. And as we can see, Blitzwar doesn't really have a whole lot in the center to deal with this, especially in anti-tank. He's definitely much more focused up north, and it's working really well for him, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get into the town here and golf on the far side of the point, and he should be able to take that with his BVPs and Proletariat and hold that for a little bit. But he is shifting some of his forces back down towards Foxtrot Charlie. You see the 2 M84 and recon variants have actually been brought back down to try and help deal with this armored push here by HK.
And then Bravo, of course, being just as silent as, well, most of the times it is anyway. Yeah, for really HK, it's kind of the critical moment of trying to get into the enemy forest so you can actually have a bit of cover, as a lot of his troops are currently out in the open and getting absolutely pounded here.
Yeah, we see right here that they that infantry and its accompanying APCs have been hit. Oh, but that was a Gleb, I believe.
Yeah, it was a Super Gleb.
Yeah, a Super Gleb going down right there. A combination of the Flak Panzer and the F4F getting a nice kill there. We see the 2A1s engaging some of the recon M84s there, trading shots. I'm a huge fan of that recon M84, as most players are right there by Blitzwar, and you can see him actually scare off those Leopard 2s.
Yeah, on the defense, they are really bloody good. Because of that reconnaissance bonus, they do get to shoot without being spotted under the right circumstances. So it's gonna make HK definitely think twice trying to move up his little armored platoon.
Yeah, but that was overall a good trade right there for HK. Both of his 2A1s are alive. The M84Ns actually had to back up a little bit, and a recon 255 going down. The drugs out of ammo as well, plus killing the Super Galev. It's a nice little exchange there for him, as it looks like Blitzwar is going to try and push some Proletariat 90s down into Foxtrot here.
Yeah, he is trading pretty efficiently HK at his, but Blitzwar is definitely starting to get a little bit of good map. Well, he's losing a little bit of map control actually up north. He's actually lost a little town in Gove, so that's going to give HK a very important foothold into that sector.
Yeah, and actually a really lucky exchange there for HK. His 2A1s got caught in the open there by both M84s, but they each shot at a different Leopard 2. So they could have killed one of them, but actually both of them ended up staying alive there, and a supply truck's already on the way to repair him. So actually really lucky there for HK, and nice little smoke action as well to keep him alive.
Yeah, not bad at all. But both sides are definitely giving and taking quite a bit, and really the first 5 minutes of this engagement, HK has lost a lot of steam in his central push, and same thing with Blitzwar up north.
Yeah, and actually he got really aggressive there. I'm not sure why. HK pushed up those 2A1s. One of them goes down. The the M84N just showing you how deadly it is right there. I believe it has 19 AP on that gun, so it's just shreds those Leopard 2s right there, and that's in that kind of like mid-range fight in the open.
Yeah, it is a very good cannon for what you get. But I definitely feel like Blitzwar has the advantage because he's making fantastic progress in Foxtrot, and definitely if that trade of the Leopard 1 that does give him the ground-based armor advantage currently.
Yeah, and I look to see if he can continue the momentum, keep pressing forward, and we see the Proletariat 90. He's not wasting any time. He wants to get in that forest, evict HK from there and really, shut down this push. But I will say up in the north in Golf there, HK did counterattack with his Panzergrins and Martyr 2s, and so he was able to reclaim that village there. So he does have a foothold in Golf.
Mm-hmm. Something at least. And there's not a whole lot here from Blitzwar, so if he was to invest a bit more into Golf, he could potentially make some good progress.
Yeah, and Martyr 2, they're actually probing around. I mean, might as well. The Martyr 2 is just an absolute beast of an IFV, shredding those 2 transports right there like they were nothing. And we do see some the Stott Trooping pushing up there against the Proletary 90. Oh, and an AA-64 Escort actually coming in right there. And nice little micro there, turning off his Hydras so you can just go ahead and let the cannon do the work.
Yeah, definitely a smart move, and also very good unit against mechanized players. Maybe not so much against Entente with their, Saint Sava guided missiles, but in a situation like this where it's a lot of infantry and lightly armored vehicles just kind of scattered about because he's just trying to grab as much territory quickly, yeah, Escort can just come and pick them all off one by one.
Yeah, and those Proletary 90 down there in the forest right there by south portion of Foxtrot just get absolutely trashed there by the Dutch APC IFEs and the Grenadiers. So he's going to go push up. He's going to still hold on to that forest, which is a nice little point of leverage for him if he wants to keep playing games with his 2A1s. But I'd like to see HK. He probably needs to be a little more careful in the next engagement because the M84s are both alive and fully repaired and armed.
Yeah, it definitely feels like both players are just kind of getting into that groove now after that initial crazy, not crazy, but pretty aggressive engagement. So it's going to be about who can amass that, large mechanized force. I keep saying mechanized because they're both playing mechanized, and actually make substantial territorial gains and a spearhead push somewhere.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, it's like you said, it's clear they both kind of blooded each other up, and now they're kind of, figuring out where they want to go into this next stage of the game. They both are actually capping their 2-point sectors. Blitzwar is a little bit faster and getting Charlie, but HK is going to not be too far behind right there. His is already going into Echo. So it looks like we see that this could probably be more Proletary 90 called out for Blitzwar up in Golf. So it looks, at least to me, it seems like he's going to might prioritize Golf for his next push.
Yeah, just try to, because he almost has Golf completely under his control. If he can just make that last little bit and regain that village, that's a good position to be in. It is a hard place to push, because HK has a lot of good defensive locations to take advantage of, and a lot of angles of road defense, which he can, or angles of fire, zones of fire, I think that's a more fancy word, to actually, blow up anything which dares push out of that Gulf forest.
Yeah, and we did see some infantry kind of push out there for Blitzwar and got mowed down by the Martyr 2, but the M84 actually killing the Fliegerfaust, getting rid of the little piece of AA that he actually that HK had there. And this escort's going to push up here. It's kind of just probing. It probably will get the drug, which will be a nice. Oh no, he should. Get it.
Oh, maybe.
Or maybe not. Yeah, there it goes. Mortar. Yeah, the mortar gets finishes him off right there. So nice little pick up there for HK, and it's kind of clear both sides. Like we said a little bit earlier, they're kind of probing, reassessing the situation, but it does look like they're both prioritizing Golf currently, Ring.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen the Laboratory 1 here being brought in from HK. We also got the M84 as well. So a little bit of armored action. And yeah, really just both sides is kind of taking their time. We still have a pretty big force in the central position for Blitzwar. Be curious to see if he does try to actually push with it, because those two M84s are quite scary. And as you can see, yeah, there's no Laboratory 1 and Foxtrot anymore, both, or one being relocated up north and a new one being brought to go into Gulf.
Yeah, I actually think it'd be really smart for him to push. I mean, we obviously have the God vision, we can see everything above, but there's very little in front of him. And I'm curious to see if he spots these Leopard 2A1s up at Golf, if he kind of does the math, says, okay, there's two Leopard 2A1s. I know there were some earlier by Foxtrot. If they're up at Golf, that means there's probably not much in front of him, and there isn't. He's actually detailing off another M84 to go ahead and head up and help kind of like stabilize the defense up there in Golf as he brings in more infantry and IFEs.
Yeah, and we're seeing this small little probing action here from HK with his Staunton Troopers. Probably not going to make too much progress. Knocking out a BVP, which is a pretty good pick-off, maybe even get a second one as well. M84 being brought up to get some cheeky snipes, but here comes both Leopard 2A1s.
Yeah, and both of them are fully healthy, and they actually get some nice shots there down to half health for the M84. It does kill the Martyr too, but I don't really think it's worth it. There's a lot of heavy damage on it. Yeah, the BVP going down there as well, and instead of having two full strength M84s to go head to head with those 2A1s, it's only gonna have 1.5 really.
And neither side is not fully ready to commit
Right.
to a, proper push yet. Just small little skirmish plays, back and forth. I mean, yeah, it's really just a battle for the Leopard 2s and the M84s.
Yeah, and we actually see Blitzwar's brought some infantry down by Bravo Ring, and it looks like he's going to try and advance maybe into Bravo and kind of contest the forest area. He seemed content to just leave it alone, but I guess something changed his mind there. You see the BVPs rolling up there, killing the stock troop, but the AT4 gets out there and picks off one of them. Nice little pickup there for a one-man squad right there.
Yeah, not bad at all, but definitely smart move just trying to contest Bravo, because it's pretty much a free sector if you just invest, 100-ish, a few hundred points into it, just some infantry in the command, infantry preferably, because you might as well try and contest it. It's a lot of forest, so it's very easy to hide your CV in here.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It'd be might be a smart move for him, though. He does seem to be prioritizing other areas. He has called out a CV for golf because at the same, as we were talking about that, HK did cap Bravo, so he does have a slight +1 tick going on, but that's not really going to get him a significant advantage because Blitzwar's already on top of it. So they're kind of setting each, up for probably more of that mid game. Oh, what the Peace Rhyme?
Peace Rhyme killed Saint Sava.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I mean it's a nice little grab if you can just get it for free there.
Yeah, I mean, who needs C? Well, I guess you can't even use C to kill Sava, but not a bad kill at all.
No, nice little pickup there. Goes in and gets a AA piece. So there are now 3 M84 ANs right there. There's the recon variant of the M84 for Yugoslavia, and these 2A1s are going to go ahead and push. Oh, never mind. He's decided to back up there into the smoke line. Panzer Grins are getting repaired as well. Nice little feature there. You can. Different from other Eugen games that people are watching. You can't repair your infantry, which you actually don't see too often in a lot of these games, right? They typically just die.
Yeah, they typically don't have the luxury of getting back to base before, getting. I always just imagine it's just like a bunch of dudes jump out the back of a truck like a clown car.
Right.
A bunch of Panzer Grenadiers, Panzerfaust 3 and all.
Oh, and the mortar shot actually there was really good from Blitzwar, taking out 4 men from the squad that was getting repaired right there, back down to 11. And something interesting I want to divert your attention to real quick, an Echo Rang, is the Powder Banshee are kind of poking around inside of Echo. He's snuck them in there somehow. Blitzwar has, and he's kind of on the hunt.
And they do have the dreaded boom bar. So if they were to spot, any armored vehicle, it's going to have a rather bad time. I just noticed the M84 fields, guys, actually have a scope on the icon. I've never noticed that until now.
Really?
Yeah, you see a little ACOG scope on the M84.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ah.
Oh, actually, infantry getting shot in the open there. M84 getting a shot there into the reserve infantry for the Dutch. Transports getting blown up there. Yeah, dispersing there. The 2A1's pushing up. Then he's decided to back into the smoke again. So he's not committing his 2A1s to a fight there, which is pretty smart because there's 3 M84 ANs right there.
Yeah, it's just the problem about trying to push into Gulf is that big open ground between you and the enemy on both sides, really. And as you're seeing, neither side wants to fully commit their forces into trying to make that push. And really, Blitzwar doesn't have to commit to the push. He has the zone under his control. Of course, HK can still somewhat contest it, but it's very little ground, and it's one of those zones where you'd have to keep dropping smoke on your CV to keep it hidden, but that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's you really want to be careful with pushing that open terrain there. There's armor waiting for you to kind of push out. Might be GMs, right? Like, I just don't think it's necessarily worth it. He does have a little toehold in golf, but at this point, it seems like it'd be hard to break that position. And it might be better for him to maybe switch to Foxtrot for pressure. But obviously, I guess he doesn't want to concede the point completely to Blitzwar.
And Blitzwar is actually going to be getting a CV onto Foxtrot, so that's be giving him a nice +1, forcing HK to try and contest the point eventually. We've seen more Laboratory 1s being brought in from HK But is he going to be able to do anything with them? Because he's kind of on the back foot now in terms of map control. He needs to make a push, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen in Golf.
Yeah, he's reinforcing it heavily. He's got the Peace Rhine hanging out above. You know, he does have his Apache escort kind of chilling for some infantry support. But it's just a really hard engagement here. Although we do see the 2A1s getting a double team action there on one of the M84Ns, though it does look like it's going to live. Yeah, it is going to make it out, but nice little damage done there. Oh, the other one pushing up. If Blitzwar just attacked, had all of them attack at one time, Ring, you would probably be able to decisively defeat the German armor there, but they're kind of playing games with each other.
Yeah, both sides are really... It's quite interesting seeing just how cautious and preservative they are being with their forces. We usually see just much more full send it play, but I think just being mech on mech, you don't really want to give your opponent the upper hand in regards to those, tank advantage or infantry advantage. It's not like if you're playing mech against a regular deck, oh, I lose a few infantry, so what, I'm still going to beat him out in terms of availability.
Right. Yeah, it is an interesting dynamic because, like you said, with the mech on mech environment, they both can go deep into their infantry tabs especially. Oh, actually see some Fallschirmjäger 90 and reach the back line there at Bravo, killing a Silo team there and pushing up. They're going to run right into these Proletary 90. So, nice little games being played there by the Fallschirmjäger.
Yeah, but
And
they're probably going to go down, yeah. The Terminators can only withstand so much fire.
They did take 6 Proletariat with them, though. That was kind of funny. They did a little bit of damage, but yeah, they do go down. The backline shenanigans kind of over there for the moment for HK, as we see both sides still kind of just playing with each other in golf, probing around. No one really willing to commit to the decisive engagement just yet.
Oh, but Blitz does have a good control over Bravo, as he has some infantry in that point. Now the question is, will he get a CV over here? I mean, he's got one being brought into Foxtrot, which will give him the +1. But if he was to, well, say, get Bravo, get +2, but we are seeing a CV from HK being brought up into Foxtrot.
Yeah, they're both going to counter cap there. He's going to Blitzwar will cap, and then obviously HK is going to counter cap here just in a second. Not that the timing really matters. So it's going to come down to someone's got to pick a decisive point. It does seem like Blitzwar wants to stay on the defensive in golf and kind of bleed out HK up there, while he commits more and more infantry along with the nice an M84, which I love for the infantry support role in the forest there. Having the it's 70 points, but it does have a nice, it packs a little punch, 16 AP, and support those Proletary in the baseline infantry in there. So I like that move there from Blitzwar into Bravo.
And that 125mm cannon does have a 4 HE value, which does help out quite a lot when trying to rout out infantry. You might actually see Blitzwar, I think, especially if that tank investment, actually try to push into Bravo a bit. I mean, he's not going to be able to really fully capture it, I would say, but he can divert pressure from up north if he wants to do some Bravo plays.
I mean, I think he could cap it if he wanted to. There's a little bit of backline harassment going on, like infantry kind of running around through the forest there. But he's got a nice little chunk of infantry in there, and it would take a lot of time for HK to wipe it all out with a little armor support, too. Though we did see up in golf while we were talking about that, the Leopard 2s pushed up again, one of them down to 1 HP there, running into those M84s. I think one of the M84 ANs is dead, though. Yeah, and actually the Stalt troop are actually running in the back line there. They're going to go at one's hunting for the Sav. It actually hits rough ground. You better run. And the M84 is getting some AT4s into the rear. One goes down right there. That's one half health. Blitzwar trying to smoke it up to cover it, but it actually advanced forward. I don't think it's quite in the smoke line. No, it's not. And the other infantry squad is going to go ahead and push over here, trying to finish him off.
Yeah, what a good little flank here from HK. I mean, when you have tanks as a mechanized deck, you might as well try to use infantry to blow them up. And AT4, almost so close.
Oh, wow, 2 HP. The Harrow... Oh, and it gets the kill right there with 2 HP left. And only 2 rockets. Nice little pickup there. Panzergren's pushing into the forest as well, and that quickly turned, Ring.
Yeah, that is a really big pick-off here from HK. It now gives him an opportunity to push into Golf. The problem is that he doesn't really have yet much to really follow up with. His laboratory ones are on the R and up. Well, one of them is actually 4 HP. He needs to be sending that down and just trying to get a foothold into the Go Forest.
He's actually got 3 of them. He has also a Flak Panzer in the back line for any AA support. He needs a little more infantry, but I would send it if I was him. Like that's 3 important units off the board right there for Blitzwar. You know that there's probably not that much more armor because he can't have that much pressure being applied in Bravo at the same time. So it's a signal to me that, hey, it's time to send it. As we see Blitzwar, like you said, he's on the offensive in Bravo ring.
Yeah, he is making some decent progress dealing with the Vanguard infantry in the first village, but we're seeing a lot of artillery fire from HK. So he's trying to do his darndest to slow them down.
Yeah, he's trying to really slow down this infantry push here. At the same time, we see, a little bit of return fire there from Blitzwar, though there's actually nothing for his mortar to hit because of his own troops. And the Harris spotting the slot troop in there on the back line. Oh, it actually goes down immediately. And that's something Blitzwar, I think, needs to be a little more cognizant of, Rang, is that there is a lot of infantry that keeps filtering into his rear there, doing damage. And as he's bringing up a CV, I would want a little more infantry support for it because the Proletarian 9 are going to die right here.
Yeah, they are. It's a good little backline play here from HK. As you see, it's going to slow down the push a little bit, as some of the infantry are going to have to flip over to dealing with their rear.
Yeah, and we see mortar fire coming out for both players here, as Blitzwar does get into the town with the CV coming up. I mean, will be able to cap it. I just kind of worry that if he sends that CV in there while the Dutch infantry is still alive, they might be able to pick it off. Though he does have some Proletarian 90 pushing, though some of them are panicked. Actually, I don't think he'll be able to win that fight.
No,
Proletarian.
HK's doing a really good job here.
Yeah, that MA4 actually got smacked by something. I don't know what it was, but it's down to 1 HP as well there. At the same time, he's dumping more infantry into Golf. With the Leopard 2A1s, there's 3 of them now pushing up. There's been no armor called out in response in Golf there for Blitzwar. And so there's a severe he's at a severe firepower disadvantage here.
Yep. This is a very perfect opportunity for HK to make some good offensive plays. I mean, down south, with their Apache escorts and reinforcements being brought in, Blitzwar's position in Bravo has been completely just destroyed at T-55. Might as well, stop going forward. And up north, if this offensive actually continues up here, we're seeing the reserve infantry getting a foothold into the forest. And if all laboratory ones, like you said, that is a huge firepower advantage for HK.
Yeah, this is actually looking really dicey now for Blitzwar with the capping of Golf, the counter capping, for HK. He's now at a +2, and he has all the momentum in Golf. He's pushing up reserve infantry. He's bringing up his armor. I mean, this Mi-25 will be able to do a little bit of damage, but the Flak Panzer Gepard's pushing up as well. I think if you're HK, now's the time to send it there. He's so close to breaking Blitzwar in the north and in the south at the same time.
Yeah, but even if he doesn't break through, he's in a very good position, because Bravo is completely under his control, and then Foxtrot and Go for pretty much 50-50 neutralizations. We're seeing the Padabranches from earlier actually getting a few Brumba hits off, and we're seeing all the Apache escorts come on in, just like in Afghanistan, to deal with the insurgents behind enemy lines.
Yeah, I think the time is about there, and then is 9 for the Padabranche 90 there in Echo. No, actually, HA stops them. Oh, there he goes. He's going to push them forward. Yeah. And actually, more Padabranche are called out, but over there by Golf, HG40 is being separated there to try and maybe provide some fire support as this infantry here pushes up. I do think HK is giving a little bit of time to Blitzwar. They doesn't need to let him kind of try and reconsolidate this front line here.
Yeah.
Padabranche 90 coming in, M84 AN. Where'd it go? I saw it. Oh, maybe he died. I thought I saw one.
Maybe. But yeah, its initial infantry push from HK up north isn't going great. He really should add laboratory ones a little bit close up to provide some fire support, because that little defensive base which Blitzwar has set up in that village is definitely working out quite well for him.
Yeah, he's very he's really entrenched there. There's a lot of infantry, some AA as well. I mean, the 2A1s, actually one of them's almost out of gas. He could push it up and definitely get some damage done in there, but there's no infantry now really left to back it up besides some reserve infantry, and they're not going to get the job done.
Yep. Oh, funnily
Well,
enough, HK's meant to steal an enemy supply truck and it's actually using it.
that's actually really funny. He needs to get some fuel to those tanks there.
Yeah.
And then down south, the T-55 command vehicle was actually spotted and killed by the Dutch infantry. And so I believe what looked like a really promising push in Bravo by Blitzwar has been ended.
Yeah, and losing that T-55, it's not huge, but still a pretty hefty point investment, which ended up doing absolutely nothing. So not a good trade at all.
No, and we do see Blitzwar actually was going to call out the MiG-29 Napalm bomber, though with the F4F up, he wisely gives it an evac order, which is an expensive. I mean, it's a plane he's buying right now. I'm just kind of curious if it's really going to be able to pay off for itself here. See these 2A1s, HA being really cautious with them, and I understand that logic there. But you see Blitzwar is bringing in more infantry to Golf to try and hold his back sector of the position. But about that, I'm not really. Besides that, I'm not really sure. Oh, he's going to use the MiG-29 actually now. There it goes.
I'll be sneaking it in down south just to try and finish off those stock trooping. Might actually hit his own dudes.
Yeah, he not the greatest hit actually there.
No.
I think only 1 HP, only one guy going down for the stock trooping, and his own guys are walking right into the flames. What are you doing? Get out of there! Oh, they're gonna get burned alive. That's not how you want to go.
Through the fire and the flames.
Ooh, quite literally. Yeah, and at the same time, some Fallschirmjäger are being called out as well by HK. Those are going to go ahead and head up to Golf. And he really is trying to prioritize in that position, but he lacks the infantry, though. He's actually bringing a ton out as I say that, right?
Wow.
6 infantry units been called out are going to head to the front there in Golf. And so that might do it, actually.
That might indeed do it. We're just seeing... I mean, Blitzwar has a good amount of infantry, of course, that he's bringing out because he is mechanized, but yeah, Leopard Tray 1 formation is tough. And I don't think he wants to risk a super collab to try and deal with it because he's lost one earlier trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, he lost one earlier, and he's also lost the bulk of it, or maybe all of his recon M84Ns. There's only one left on the field. So I think that's probably it. If my math is correct, I might be a little off there. And he hasn't called out any armor. He does have M84As he can bring out, which are a nasty tank for 95 points. But he hasn't done that yet. He's kind of relying on infantry here to hold the line. We'll see if that pays off for him because there's a bunch of infantry coming out for HK. We're going to have a lot of German and Dutch boys pushing up here with a heavy armor support and AA and mortar support. So we'll see if it can work out.
Yeah. And in terms of his infantry anti-tank, a lot of his troops don't have... I mean, okay, the Proletariat and the Padobranches have pretty nasty AT weaponry, but the frontline Mechanovas, not so much. It's going to be very important for those elite infantry to pick off those heavy tanks. That's going to be hard. As Leopard 1s are a little bit, danger close to the front line, yeah. I mean, you kind of have to and go, but it's nowhere nearby to actually potentially pick them off.
Yeah, and if HK does use his Leopard 2A1s correctly, it's just there's too much firepower, I think, if he's able to utilize his forces. We see more infantry yet. They're just coming up there, some more even as well in the back line. And these Petter Banshees are engaging the Panzergrins. They will win that fight, but there's 2 squads of Fallschirmjäger 90 coming in. He actually could bring this escort up, but he is lifting it off. So that'll provide some fire support as well. And I believe these Prada Banshee are going to go down. Yeah, there goes the autocannon for the H-64. Plus the mortar rounds coming in. It's like some legit combined arms action here for HK.
Yeah, HK has done just a very good job, like you said, with combined arms. The mortars have been constantly firing. Those escorts have been all over the map. And yeah, the infantry's leading the charge. The tanks are rolling up behind. He's definitely getting that. And also just the air coverage. He's definitely stopped Entente from flying in hot.
Yeah, he really has locked down the airplay. Besides that MiG-29 bomber run, there's been no airplay from Blitzwar after the loss of the Super Galeb there. And we just see here the Fallschirmjäger moving in, engaging the Proletariat 90. He actually could bring up his... where'd the Apache die?
Oh, it's going up north.
Oh, yeah, it went up north. Yeah.
Up north.
A bunch of planes called in from Blitzwar's been saving up for this. This needs to do massive damage. I see that this is kind of the desperation threat plane throw here. We'll see. So napalm bombs coming out there. They're going to hit. It's a Leopard 1 command vehicle, so it's going to survive. The other one, I don't even know what it hit. Yeah, I don't think that was worth it.
No, that was not worth it at all. Didn't really kill that much, and even then, if he was to blow off a bunch of stuff, he has no forces to like follow up with a push. And there's only 10 minutes left in this match, and HK does have a 150-point advantage, which is pretty big at this stage.
Yeah, that was not OP, that airstrike.
No, not OP at all.
You know, when we see the Leopard 2A1s here pushing up there and trying to find these BVPs and engage them, the BVP, I mean, it is a nasty vehicle, but it's going to get made quick work of by some 2A1s. Yeah, Panzergren's pushing down. He's throwing these choppers in the back line, kind of just spotting to see and just soaking up some silo hits, wasting a bunch of ammo too. Yeah, HK just feels like he's really on top of his game. Right, he's just played outside of a couple of maybe some missed micro situations with his armor in the early game. He's just played an absolutely solid game.
Yeah, with a mech on mech action like this, especially to very good players and very good mech decks, it's all just about those small little micro plays, those small little engagements. Because as we saw, it just tumbles out of control.
When the MiG-29 actually survives and the L-18 comes in, gets the kill. Oh no, it goes down.
Oh,
so the L-18 gets the kill. Oh, there's an L-17 out now as well. This is actually kind of chaos here. Bunch of planes went out, but each of them losing one, though, with the superior positioning for HK, I think he's perfectly fine with that trade.
Yeah. He still holds the ground, which is all that really matters. He still has Bravo completely onto lockdown. I mean, there's no way Blitzwar's going to get a foothold into the air. Yeah, just looking at the force positions, like, Blitzwar's line is much less, strengthy. That's not even a word. I mean, just looking Foxtrot, it's just, infantry spread out a little bit. Up north, it's mainly infantry, but that's all you really need up north in the CQC environment.
Yeah,
it just hasn't traded.
HK, I think he's in the driver's seat here, and I don't see how Blitzwar, with the amount of time left on the clock, is able to turn this game around. The armor engaged at the same time the infantry push went in Bravo was just too one-sided there. HK just getting killing so much stuff in a single instance. It's just so hard to come back from that, even when you're as good as Blitzwar is at the game. That's just too much at once. Yeah, that MiG-29 going down as well there. Kind of salt in the wound, I think.
That one M84 just having a hard time figuring out what he can actually do with it. He can't really engage the Laboratory 1, so you also don't really want to be moving it up alone by itself. Even though it does have recon optics, it's still dangerous to be an unsupported tank.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like in the beginning when there was 3 of them, they could probably take the fight, and I would say they might have a chance. If they had to get the first shot, I'd say they could win the fight. But 1v3, it's not going to happen. It's not it's not a, was it M91?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not super heavy.
Right.
And it's a tap out.
Yeah, I think the KD really does reflect the game we saw there past maybe the first five minutes, right?
Yeah, just standard 1,000 is different, and I know it was a pretty standard match really, nothing super crazy really happened, but HK just kind of traded, well, he did trade more efficiently. And that's what really matters in like I don't say mirror match, but in a similar style matchup.
Yeah, it's kind of close in like on Steel Division. We talk a lot about mirror matches, right? Like, same factions going against each other. They're both the same type of deck being mechanized. And it just felt like HK was able to position his units better. And really all of us were small, but he took consistently better engagements. And that stacks up over time, especially in Wargame. And it just got to a point, around the 25-minute mark where it was really hard to see how Blitzwar was going to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just good trading all over. But
yeah, excellent game.
Yeah, apart from that, anything else, Mr. Graham?
No, sir. Great cast as always. I'm looking forward to next week.
Lovely jubbly. Yen, as usual, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. And, as usual, please just take it easy.